Okay, I think we are good to go. So, thanks for joining me again. It seemed quite prudent to get on with learning how these guys combine. So, I definitely did my homework last night and worked out the various ways that these five can transform together. So, I've still got all five instruction books here, which I'm sure I'm going to need at some point during this live stream. But yeah, I think I know enough now to try and put them together for you. So yeah, let's see how it goes anyway. I've got my obligatory comparison Megazords here. This is a guy that I didn't even unbox yesterday. This is Blaze, the 12-inch version of the figure, and I thought that would be quite a good comparison to make against the deluxe Zords. So yeah, I've got him ready to go as well. In the meantime, how are you guys? What did you think of the unboxing from yesterday? And do you have any questions, apart from obviously the $1 million, does the gorilla look like a gorilla question? Here we go. Just grab some. Here's Blaze. Anyone else got this toy? Okay. The back of the Blaze cardboard is not as exciting as the back of the Zord cardboard. It's quite posable. And he's got a sword. Okay, so Blaze is going to be a bit of a stand-in for size comparisons today. Alright. So first we've got Red, and we've got the Racer Zord. These things, I think on the Go Buster version, are actually the feet, but here they're just pretend feet because the actual feet are inside. So I found that quite strange. But yeah, that's how it is. It's got this gap at the front as well, which you can't seem to close any more than that. Obviously this is the space where the Cheetah head goes. But unfortunately, the Cheetah head doesn't seem to have anywhere to be stowed away when it's in the race car mode. In fact, it's the only of the three Beast ones where the Beast head is not able to be put anywhere when it's in vehicle mode. So you end up with this odd spare piece. Right? Obviously, they want you to put it in here and complete the look and link it in as it happens in Beast Morphers. But yeah, I prefer the look like this. This kind of reminds me of like the Turbo Lightning Cruiser, but just 5 times bigger and with a massive wobbly spoiler on the back. The sword as well, not sure if this was the same in Go Busters, but yeah, it's quite frustrating. This mode is probably the best for it, but when we get to Cheetah mode, you'll see just how annoying that thing is. So, yep, wheels move. That's pretty much it. There's the base. It's a very nice race car, and you realise, I mean, in the show, I'm sure the truck probably looks a bit bigger than the race car, but no, in real life, this one is way bigger. Right, so in the show, then, and the obvious thing that happens first is the Cheetah head goes in. So you see, you've got these like little bits here. You've got like a slightly raised bit there, and you've got a bit where this can tab in, so that goes in quite nice, and then just kind of frictions in. There you go. It's in there really well actually after that. So now you've got your Cheetah headed race car. Kind of reminds you of RPM in a way. Yeah, that's the full race car mode. But really, we want to see the cheetah mode. So the easy thing is that these will fold down and away. And I've noticed as well that the way they fold, you see this one, if you try and do the left one first, you end up with this big gap. Whereas if you do the right one first, it almost goes flush with the base of the Zord. And then that just stacks quite comfortably. The feet, which have looked really skinny and quite fragile in all the pictures, yeah, they are very skinny. They're a bit like bendy, but they do the job. They carry the weight of the Zord. Then for the back feet, these drop down, and then you basically just are unfolding. So that comes down, and now you see the toe needs to be folded down as well. All clicks quite nicely. Do the same on the other side. Hey, he's got his black shoes on. Now for the tail, you want to extend it, so it's basically a sword, but it's not because it's a jar, therefore it's a tail. And on the instructions, they say that you move it here, I believe, into this bit. This is really frustrating. It doesn't go in any more than that because of the plastic stops it. And then it's supposed to be kind of angled up like a tail, but the weight of it causes it to drop back down. Now you can kind of keep pushing these together in the hope of achieving a bit more friction to hold it, but it's only ever really a temporary response. And as soon as you yes, you can display it like that, and it looks okay. But I think if you're a kid, as soon as you pick it up, it drops down again. So yeah. Also, the mouth opens, so that's kind of cool. It's just, a lot of the tabs on these are quite tricky to get your fingers into, so yeah, be aware. There you go, there's cheetah mode. We'll come back to you. We'll see if that tail can stay up. So next up, it's the helicopter, and it's an odd one. You can tell this is going to break down into pieces for something else. Also a bit annoying that the helicopter blades don't rotate very well. They just kind of, you see it's getting caught on this. So as much as you can try and keep them like a kind of 4-star compass, as soon as it goes around it's going to start buckling. So yeah, I do wish that was a bit, you know, more chopper-like. What else we got for this? Also, this red thing on the base is kind of, it needs to be there, but I feel like it blocks any chance of these guys combining. You want to be able to stack that. I mean, that is a helipad, is it not? And this is a helicopter. So I feel like that should be able to go on there, but because of the red thing, it's too round. You can take the red thing off, and you can just kind of gently rest it on. It's sort of a solution, kind of works, but there's nothing to clip on, so you are just pretending. We'll come back to you. So, is it Jax, the Bodyride for the Yellow Ranger for Zoe? This then, when it links in, splits around, clips in quite nicely, and there you go. Now it's got the Beastbot-esque head. So yeah, that's the helicopter mode, but then you want to change it into a second mode, which is Rabbit. This one, you actually do need to take this bucket thing off again. Spin, that will enable you to spin these round. Then what was the back of the helicopter splits and becomes 2 feet. The red bucket reattaches. Take off the copter blades. You'll notice that the helmet barely stays on anyway. The helmet will now slot into these 2 red tabs here. Sorry, silver, grey tabs even. And these will become ears. And these will now slot on the front. That's it, another kind of friction tab. Oh, and this, sorry. yeah, the front of the helicopter folds down into its feet. So yeah. Let's lower this maybe. It's probably better in this mode than in the helicopter, because at least this you kind of get what they're going for. Rabbit or jackrabbit even. One day I'll get that right. But yeah, it's a little bit wobbly in places, and you can tell that its sole intention is to break down into pieces for the Megazord. And then lastly we got this guy. Now, if you're wondering where his head is, oh, I've not changed this. How did I avoid that? This is so nice. Like the symbols there of the three main Beast Morphers Rangers, the way that these kind of fit together in such a nice truck way. Yeah, I really like what they've done here. So much silver going on. There's the base. You can tell again. There's a lot of this is going to come undone and be used in a different way. Bit annoying, the front grille of the truck on mine does not seem to want to stay in. It just wants to always be out a bit. So yeah, at first it was worse than that, and it was because the two clips that hold the front wheels in were out sideways for the gorilla mode. Once I realised that those could be tucked in, it did go in a bit more, but still just not as flush as I want it to be. Again, nice wheels. Yeah, I really like this wheeler version. But obviously you want to see this. So you look at the instructions, and it just kind of there's just a step showing this back of the truck and this head and just an arrow. So, and I'm looking at it like, where does it go? Like, there's no clip that matches the clips on here. I'm going like this, I'm going like this, like why? And then I gradually realised that it must kind of angle in at kind of like that, ironically at the 45-degree angle that the gorilla mode can't achieve, and it just sits there. And once you've got the two gold bits on that shelf, it's really in. Like it's a really great connection. So yeah, if the instructions confuse you as much as they did me, that's probably how to do it. Next up then, so you actually want that part. You want to drop the loose grill, slide it back, and pull open one of these tabs. And again, this is another tab that needs a bit of nail to get at. And then this just clips on here. And okay, now the monster truck has got this big bar on the front of it. But there's one more thing you can do. Lift it up to reveal the gorilla eyes. So yeah, there is your gorilla-headed Wheeler Zord. Shall we transform into gorilla? Now, the only way I've really found to do gorilla mode is to really split it down into quite a lot of pieces. Pretty much everything needs to come off, actually. So here we go. I think there's about 33, 34 pieces just in these 5 Zords. So, you know, there's a lot going on here. Certainly more complex than we've had in the last few years of well, the main series Zords. I'm not going to blame it on Bandai because that was what has been happening. So, the truck is now imploded, but it's the perfect base for our gorilla mode. Say goodbye to the Beast Morpher symbol. Unfortunately, that's the last time we need them. These are going to become arms. And these are actually hands. This weird thing that was kind of the base of the truck is actually the body for the gorilla. Oh, the head of the truck. So, I don't know if you can see this, but I've already kind of damaged the plastic. I think it's being too familiar with Zord Builder ports. I was a little confused to see these strange, slightly off-center tabs. You know they're kind of meant to fit together, but what I wasn't used to at first was that you need to kind of go in at an angle. You can't just put them in straight like you are going to want them to be in the end. You need to kind of line up the port with the connector. So you're kind of putting it on slightly ajar. That will let you push it all the way down, and then you can straighten it up. Might need to move this right back. So we're getting there. Now, the bits that were holding the wheels on in truck mode roll out. The arms, again, go into these ports, which you have to be quite careful about. And the monster truck, sorry, the gorilla face is going back on actually the same port, but upside down to how it was to begin with. These wheels just kind of clip on up here. They're quite loose, but it works. And that just kind of folds down flat. So yeah, there is gorilla mode. He's he's very robotic. The arms do twist, so you can kind of get a bit more posability out of that. I guess, although the hands don't open because they actually just tuck away, you can kind of simulate that. Now, $1 million question. Can he go into gorilla mode? No, unfortunately he can't. I've tried various ways with the body piece. I've tried just kind of kneeling him down. He looks like he's just been knocked over. So, yeah, I don't believe that you can do anything. I think the Go Busters version, the way it connected was not such a straight through line. It actually combined at an angle. This one, however, this is the only way that I found that you can do it. So, yeah. Sadly. Yeah, so there are the three main Beast Morphers Zords, the Cheetah, the Jackrabbit, and the Gorilla. So, what do you think? I think they're quite good. I don't know why I just folded his hands away. I do quite like them. They do feel very different from Bandai. I think it's, do you know, if you've got any of the Beast Morphers action figures, you'll know this as well. The density of the plastic is just a little bit different from what we've been used to this whole time. So I think a lot of it's just getting used to that. They don't feel as high quality as some plastic, but they feel absolutely fine for their purposes. Yeah, so do you know how I'm sure Hasbro in the Transformers line do different incarnations where they'll do like a collector series, which is much more expensive, and I presume, I've never felt them in person, a better plastic durability. Well, these are quite similar to that. I imagine they are just kind of the kind of entry plastic. Okay, onwards we go. I'm just going to move these guys out of the way. Oh, and there goes the tail. Yeah. So, the Silver Racer Jet Zord. This one, if you were watching the live stream yesterday, is so easy to work out. Like, you can just look at it and work it out. Oh, something as well. Do you remember we just tried stacking the helicopter onto the wheeler? Well, this one I've noticed, and it does seem too coincidental to be a mistake, that you can stack the jet onto the wheeler. It slides in. I thought it would slide into this, but that side is too thin, unfortunately. It kind of works, but it is balancing a lot more precariously than if you put it on this front one. This front one, they are the exact same size for this, so you just kind of slide it on, and there you go. So now he's actually on there really quite well. It doesn't click into place, but it does rest on there quite well. And so now you've got the silver and the gold Zords all as one piece, which I do quite rate. The only annoying thing is it's drill part thing at the front. It is just on there on one connection, on one port. So all it's doing on the front is just resting on that gun. And I've tried twisting it around each of the different sides. There's no clip, so that's as good as it gets, just kind of on there. I feel like if it was Bandai, that would have been something that they would have made a clip for. Oh, sorry, Quantum Surge, you can't hear. I will move the mic closer. Switzerland, can't wait for an in-depth review from you, mate. Crazy how you got it earlier than a lot of people. I know, yeah, me too. I was not really expecting the UK to be first, especially given that the series started in America, and now Australia has overtaken them, and we're not getting the series on our channels until September. So the fact that we've ended up with the Zords first is kind of nuts, but hey, I'm here for it. Yeah, so we'll just take the Silver Jet off. You have to slide it backwards again to release it. And this will turn into its Scarab mode, I guess, if you want to call it that. Annoyance with this, the Ultra Zord helmet is on the peg that is so loose, so very loose. Like, I think I tried to show this yesterday, that it pushes on, but that's it. That's as far as it goes. It's barely a nudge. Yeah. Oh, also, this keeps coming apart because it's not using real clips. It's just using these kind of friction tabs to hold on. I've noticed that it's coming off quite a lot. This one is very satisfying, just because it's so easy. There you go. Scarab mode, I guess. You can do some pinching if you want. Question. Asmodeus, the Jet Zord, is it able to be slided from the back of the crane? No, it's not. Yeah, I don't know if you just saw that. The back portion is not as thick. You see, we'll move Scarab out of the way. Move on to Mantis, if that's what we're calling it. You notice that side is much thicker than that side, so yeah, it seems like it will only fit on the front, and you can't swap these around either. The Rhino crane thing, I'm calling it a Rhino, it's not. Okay, the Mantis, I don't know what you call it. Anyway, the Mantis bit will only stick on this side, and the port connecting it to the Zord is only on this side, so options sadly are quite limited. The guns in the Wrecker Zord should be flipped 180 degrees to face forward. These ones? Yeah. The reason I know there's the instructions basically say you should take it apart between each mode, and these things seem to change the way that they're on there each time. I've worked out though that this seems to be the easiest way to transform it without having to break it down into pieces. You do that. Next up, where are we going next? Watch me not be able to do it now. Maybe, okay, we'll take them off. We'll work it out. Watch them go back on the exact same place. So you've got these two parts over here. This keeps happening as well. These pieces are technically not meant to come off, but if you've accidentally left the clip for the guns tucked in, then as soon as you slide around, it will hit here and it will break off. So you need to make sure that those are up. And we shan't make the same mistake on the other side. That's meant to just clasp on there quite nicely. Then again, flip it over. What was the front of the truck will split and reveal the Mantis head. This will go up. What was sort of the crane will, sorry, that wasn't visible, will split out. And then all we need to do is reattach these. There's various different connectors, so you've got one here and one here, and then for when it's in the Megazord mode, a handle here and a handle here. I think it's silver at the front when it's in this mode. Should we look at the instructions? No, I don't want to look at the instructions. I've had too much of the instructions. There we go. quite a dodgy connection, but it's very sturdy once it's on. And yeah, there is its insect mode. You can't exactly call this a beast mode, can you? It's nice. This is, again, just so wobbly. But it's good. It does the job, and it's not coming off. So, hey, points for effort. And now here's both. This really reminds me of Ninja Storm Thunder Rangers. We've got the Mantis and the Scarab Zords. I'm just going to quickly consult the instructions, you know, the giant ones. Oh, not the giant ones, the gold ones. And check that I've got those feet on correct. Oh yeah, so the only thing that they say, so silver does go at the back, but you can unclip them. Let's do that. So basically, you see they're on this hinge. There you go. Now it's a bit more insect-like. So the reason I'm putting them in this order is because the boxes refer to them as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. However, little strangeness. The instructions don't use that numbering. They say silver's number 1, gold's number 2, red is number 3, yellow's number 4, blue's number 5. Just grab a box. Oops. Knock my tripod over. This is why I don't do live streams, guys. So yeah, you see on here, the numbering doesn't actually match the instructions. It's no big. It's probably just whoever worked on the box was a little bit more up on Power Ranger lore. So yeah, there's the 5 beasts, or 3 beasts and 2 insects. Stupid sword. Really disappointed with the sword, guys. Can't even hide my disappointment about the sword. Here's Blaze, you know, the tall one. And I think he's wanting someone a bit more in his league. So now we can do the 3rd transformation for the 2 triple changing Zords. Let's start with the Cheetah. And strangely enough, you want to pretend Cheetah mode never happened. So everything that you've done from Cheetah to the race car, reverse that. Oh, and reverse that as well. So kind of nearly back in car mode, and what you want to do, this is the bit that freaks me out because it feels very brittle. I don't know if there's a clip here that I'm missing, but I don't think so. Yeah, okay, so you see eventually you do get there. This is why I couldn't do it yesterday, because it felt like I was going to break it, so I checked the instructions first. Front of the race car, become feet. I do really like this, how this works. How satisfying is that? Then you've got the head for the Cheetah. Sometimes I get a really satisfying click, and other times I don't. But it definitely stays on better when it clicks. There you go. There is Cheetah mode, and it's well, what do you call this? Warrior mode? What does he dial in when he's in the Zord? And what was the tail? We're now acknowledging is actually a sword. Strangely, he grips this handle piece with such amazing tightness, but then the blade flops around. But hey, it's fine. Also, you've got his cool headpiece. these will be changed later on for the Megazord mode, but for now he's got his cool guy sunglasses on. And now Blaze has his usual adversary. Yes, I know Blaze doesn't grow big in the show, but he's the closest that we've got to a Megazord class villain at this point. And he's got a sword. Guys, I said it yesterday, the posability on this thing is just immense. Like, some of it is just meant to be there, and some I feel like Hasbro have just included. Want to twist his waist? Want to like bend his knee? Maybe you want to send the knee outwards? Appreciate these aren't real poses, but you know. So he's kind of gonna. He kind of looks like one of those retro fire Zords that Bandai used to do. Yeah, it's a very nice Zord for posability. Considering that this does more than the Astro Megazord did from Power Rangers in Space, you realise just how blocky that was in comparison to this. Oh, Hasbro, maybe an Astro Megazord in the future would be a good idea. Yeah, it's a good one. I think I said it in the first live stream. You can tell this is the one that they put most of the love into because it's just the funnest. If you can only buy one at this point of the year, I'd say go for this one. As annoying as the sword can be, you know, and the head, it is just the biggest breath of fresh air from what we've been used to. Yep, so there he is with his compatriots. Gorilla, because he already has a kind of high stance mode, you can see he's similar sized, but not quite the same. And Rabbit, yeah, well, yeah, that's just different. Okay, Gold. This one, I do struggle with. I'm going to be honest, guys. You want to take this thing off, finally. This is going to become his arms. And I've noticed the side with the screws becomes his back. These things are actually going to come off. Now, Hasbro showed the instructions as basically completely disassembling it, but I think you can keep it together a bit more than they say. You just have to kind of like think about it. So these two push down and let you extend the legs out. And then he's actually got toes, which you kind of pick out and twist around to the front. So do that again on this side. These pop up like shoulders. This goes back a bit. This comes down. This goes up for now. Drops down. Reveals the head. And you just basically leave them closed for now, but pick out the big bad Beetleborg bit. And as I said, screw side goes on the back. Unfortunately, people are going to be asking, can you do it like you could in Go Busters, where the it kind of goes through? Nah, no, you cannot. That would have been nice though. Yeah, basically, there's too much going on here. It kind of looks like it should be able to, but it really can't. So unfortunately, you do have to drop it down. This kind of clicks on. Yeah, it just kind of it just frictions in. That closes back down. Hands go down. Oh, and unlike some of the promo pictures, split the legs. And then these become, well, this one can be a sword. This one, sure, we can have as a gun. Yeah, it's a pretty cool Zord. How does he compare to Red? They are the same size, so they can gang up on Blaze, who's taller than them. The Cybershark 99. Hasbro should totally do Megazord figures like Retrofire ones. Yeah, maybe they will. I think at the moment they're just trying to see what people want. Apparently we want a lot of stuff. Ooh. So the reason why I'm just making the camera go all weird is because I'm about to run out of battery. Yikes. Has that like stopped working? Eesh. Guys, I'll be back.